What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another predictions video. I know it's been a few days since I've recorded or I actually uploaded something, but today I'm back with another predictions video with Super Mario Odyssey 2. We are in the realm of possibility of it happening now, despite Odyssey selling pretty well, and Breath of the Wild got a sequel, so Odyssey can get a sequel as well, and Galaxy 2 has a sequel, so yeah. As much as I want the Mario remasters, it's only the realm of possibility if it's happening. God, if it gets announced the time recording this, I'll be so lucky, honestly. Anyway, so this is simple. I'm just gonna predict. I'm not gonna go too deep into Odyssey 2, but I'll talk about extra stuff near the end. But I think I'm gonna start off with the thing people care about, the kingdoms. Alright, I'm starting off with some kingdoms. Now, first things first, Nintendo can come up with some wild predictions when it comes to kingdoms, and I don't even know if any of the kingdoms in Odyssey 1 will even come back. So, I decided to just pick 5 kingdoms I can come up with. I feel like only 3 of these, or 2, will probably happen, but the others I'm indifferent on. So, I decided to just pick 5 ones that make sense to me. So, first off, I decided to come up with a music kingdom. What would this be? Well, it would just be a bunch of instruments in the air, all over the place, sort of in the sky. If you remember Mario Star Road, which is a Mario 64 ROM hack, it's sort of like that. There's music everywhere, and you bounce off of music notes like from Mario 3, and just a bunch of instruments, honestly. And it might be a bit similar to New Dawn because we have the band and all that, but honestly, I think a music kingdom would probably be pretty interesting. Could have a catchy songs at times, so you never know. Alright, so that's that. Now here's one that I'm surprised that wasn't even in the game, to be honest. A haunted mansion kingdom. Now, I don't know if this will be a haunted spooky woods or mansion. It honestly depends. It could be both, if anything. The mansion wouldn't be huge or anything, not like Luigi's Mansion level, but I think we'll explore the mansion to get moons, and probably we'll see ghosts and stuff in the game, because there were none in Odyssey. I can understand the lighting, I guess, maybe is the reason why we didn't get a haunted mansion kingdom, but it's one of those kingdoms that's like, it should have been in the game, so I just think a haunted mansion kingdom would just make sense, to be honest. And now, this is one that pretty much everyone's gonna predict, a Delfino Plaza. Now, first things first, post-game or not, it most likely will be post-game again, just like Peach's Castle in Odyssey 1, but we can probably explore different areas. Now, I don't think we're going to explore every darn level from Mario Sunshine. That would be way too much, honestly. I'd say like 2 or 3 areas just to get moons, but that's pretty much it. But the rest of the moons will probably just be in the whole hub world of Delfino, so that's what I think. But I think Delfino Plaza is probably likely to happen, so yeah. Alright. 2 more to go. First off, I couldn't think of a name for this, so I just said a future kingdom, which is basically like robots, a factory, something like that. I'm surprised this wasn't even the game to begin with. And we've already had like robots and bombs and stuff in Galaxy, sort of areas like that in Galaxy, so I'm surprised this didn't happen before. Out of all the games I talked about, this is definitely likely, honestly. And the last one, which probably won't happen, is a sports kingdom. We have the Charging Chucks and the football outfits from Mario Odyssey. And you know all those like mini games, which is volleyball and the jump rope, sort of mini games like that? Why not combine all that into one kingdom? Now, not every moon, of course, but I think that should work, honestly, because those mini games are all over the place in Odyssey. I just think putting in one kingdom would make sense. And let's be honest, everybody hates those moons. They're not that hard, just get good, by the way. So, that's what I think for a sports kind of kingdom, I guess. Oh, and I guess I'll go and throw this out since I covered the 5 kingdoms I personally want. Ones like the Ruined and Cloud Kingdom should definitely expand more. They would just use for bosses, and that's really it. They should definitely expand the kingdoms a little more to make them feel open world, so you're exploring and stuff. That's just my opinion. I think that's everyone's complaint. Alright, now let's talk about the enemies. Now, I decided to talk to enemies and bosses as well. I almost forgot to mention bosses. So first things first, I don't think they're not gonna. Nintendo can come up with some wild predictions again with enemies. They made tons of new enemies, but I think there should definitely be some returning ones as well from other games. So instead of just naming a bunch of enemies that I think should return, I made a tier list, or a list, I guess, right here on screen to show what enemies I personally want to see return. I know it's a lot of enemies, but I think some of them should be there. And Nintendo will go ahead and just make new enemies, or even bring back the ones from Odyssey. So yeah, and also the Brutals. The Brutals are cool and all, but they were a little on the easy side, to be honest. So I think the Brutals should either be a little bit harder, or for some reason, I don't think they will, come up with new bosses, of course. Although, don't make another female. If another female Brutal comes, the internet will go crazy, just saying. So yeah, that was a short topic. Now I'm just gonna breeze through a few extras. Alright, now I'm gonna breeze through a few extras. So I guess I never mentioned the controls are obviously gonna be similar to Odyssey. I can't really think of a new mechanic that will be fine, honestly, because like Odyssey just feels fine, to be honest. And also power-ups. I really wish power-ups were in the game, but knowing Nintendo, I don't think we're gonna get power-ups like a Firefly or a propeller suit or anything like that. Maybe the ice and flower could be like costumes, actually, for new costumes. So I just think that will be likely to happen. And hey, a striker's outfit would be amazing, honestly. That's just some costumes I can predict. Nintendo can come up with some random ideas, since some costumes in Odyssey are references when some others aren't really. So, yeah. Alright, now I'm going to talk about Luigi. Luigi had a role where he was a balloon minigame. Assuming that comes back, I don't know if Luigi will have a post-game, or you can play as Luigi wherever you want, or be like a two-player mode. I have no idea, but Luigi should definitely do more than just the balloon world. But then again, someone else can do the balloon world, so it probably will be Toadette, since she's definitely had more time in the spotlight. I think Toadette would make sense, honestly. Alright, now this is probably not... I don't know about this one, but a hub world. The Odyssey in general is cool, but it sucks that this is like the only main 3D Mario that's open world, not counting 3D World 3D Land, that doesn't have like a hub world of some kind. And I wouldn't complain if it doesn't come back in Odyssey 2, but I think something like that should happen. I think if the Odyssey returned, maybe it could warp to a hub world or something, I guess, but I really want that to return. But again, that's probably like a common complaint. I think a hub world should return, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was in the game. It's just a dream prediction after all. Alright, now let's talk about Yoshi. So if you guys remember Super Mario Odyssey, you get to play as Yoshi. I won't spoil too much, but Yoshi, just like in Galaxy 2, should be used in more missions and kingdoms. So that's a pretty easy one. Yoshi should definitely be used a lot more. Whew, alright. I talked about outfits, and now for the final topic. I think an enhanced New Donk City is probably gonna happen. If Pauline wasn't Mario Odyssey 1, I would be so shocked if she was cut out of Odyssey 2. She's definitely had a big role in Odyssey. I just think she obviously will be in Odyssey 2. If she isn't in Odyssey 2, I'm gonna be so shocked. Oh, and I'm gonna go in and just throw this out there. Rosalina. Oh boy, Nintendo. Will they ever give Rosalina something than just spin-offs? Okay, let's be honest. Rosalina is fine enough. She was actually planned for Odyssey, but we got a cameo. Yeah, that's it. And apparently some people are saying that she was using guitar, she had a different outfit. That was apparently scrapped, I guess? I don't know, it's weird. But personally, I don't want to see that happen, I guess because I don't want to remove her character. And then again, 3D World did this, but she didn't. It's not like she had a different outfit to begin with, so... I don't know. I personally don't want to see Rosalina with the guitar. If anything, if Rosalina does be an Odyssey that isn't a cameo, she should just stay in space or something. Like, it just makes more sense to just straight up change what she does in Galaxy. I don't know. It's just my opinion on Rosalina, but I wouldn't cry if Rosalina wasn't in. But hey, you never know. It can happen. Whew, oh boy, that was a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and just stop here. I think I pretty much talked about everything that isn't wild predictions or anything like that. So, and yeah, I can get comments. If you have ideas what you want to see in Odyssey 2, let me know in the comments below. There's definitely a lot of stuff Nintendo can do. And assuming if Odyssey 2 does happen, which is likely, I hope it does become as good as Odyssey. And for people that don't like Odyssey or just not a fan of it, don't be surprised if Nintendo actually makes a sequel. Just saying. After all, Galaxy 2 exists, so anything can happen. Thanks for watching. See you next time for more. Later, folks.